Aaron Lefton, Aaron Lefton, Lieutenant Colonel. I'm with the 53rd DLD, part of the Unified Command Javits. So I'm the Chief of Operations. Behind me is the Unified Command Post with all of the different agencies here. So you have New York Army National Guard, you have representatives from Title 10, and then all of the state, local agencies. So you have DOH, you have Northwell, the hospital administrators, you have New York State Fire, you have OEM, and you have New York State Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Services, and others. I was personally assigned as part of the original command group that came down to establish the unified command. After we got here and we learned the magnitude of the problem, the 104th came down and established as part the 104th came down and was incorporated into the Unified Command, and they provided the backbone of our staff. They've been fantastic. Unified Command is different than your normal Army chain of command. Unified Command means that multiple agencies are showing leadership in the same organizational structure. So it's built under the National Incident Management Strategy, NIMS, and ICS. So in a unified command, you have different lines of authority, different roles and responsibilities. So you have an incident commander, but you also have agencies that are also in charge. So you have DOH, HHS, FEMA, everyone playing a role. So part of the challenge here is getting all of those to work together and not in your typical organization. So you have different people, they all have different authorities, they all have different bosses at the local, state, and federal level, and you have to work together and push in the right direction and understand what resources you have and who can do what. And that was basically the job of the Unified Command when we got down here, was to organize everyone, develop deep relationships, and start moving everyone towards building a hospital. We built the hospital in about 4 days, and that was extremely challenging considering it's a basic convention space. So we started out with just materials, beds and equipment, and then you had Title 10 forces flow in, doctors and nurses. They've done a tremendous job treating patients here. In addition to having the beds and the staffing, you also have to determine the capability with other equipment, and we learned a lot about hospital operations here to determine what type of patients can come here. So part of the challenge is making sure that you have the appropriate level of doctor-nurse ratio to patients, appropriate level of medical equipment, pharmacy, expertise, administration. You meet the dietary needs of the patients, that you can meet all of their care needs, especially if they're in intensive care and they need oxygen and other monitoring. So definitely took a big team effort to make sure that we could do that. And obviously you have a lot of experts here, and a lot of professionals, and especially the medical professionals who have done a tremendous job in making sure that the New Yorkers that came here were safe, and that they could recover, get the appropriate and best care, quality care, and get sent home to their families. So I feel really good about being a part of this mission. Obviously, you're helping people. I work in New York City. I've been a part of the New York National Guard and living in the city for more than 20 years. So it definitely feels good to help the community and help people in need. With that said, it also feels good to really see a lot of people from different backgrounds and different organizations come together to help people. And that's the really challenging part, is to, work well with others, cooperate, and really help everyone, that needs it. And that the bottom line is people really needed help, and we were here. And the people that actually, helped the patients, and really with the team, did an amazing job. They did an amazing job to really take care of their community. I came down here on March 23rd as part of the initial command group to establish the hospital, and we did that. We established a hospital very shortly, within a week. Hospital was built, and then we continued to grow in capability and capacity all the way through the apex of the epidemic. Now we're at a point where we're going to transition this hospital to the civilian doctors and the state of New York, and they're going to move patients out of the facility, and they're going to. The overall thoughts are, I'm glad to have helped. Obviously, here in a hospital, the experts, the doctors and nurses, are the real heroes to put their hands on patients and treat and care them. But I feel really good having been a part of that and having helped people in my community and people that I work with. So my family lives in upstate New York. They are sheltering in place and doing well. But a lot of my coworkers and people that I work with over the years live here in New York City. Some of them have gotten sick. Some have had family members unfortunately pass away. So there's a lot of grief and a lot of emotional issues to deal with going forward. But I personally feel satisfied and grateful that I was able to come down here and help out. And I'm very proud of what everyone's done here. And I'm very proud of the New York Army National Guard responding. Everyone here has, gone away from their families. They've been away from their employers. They have exposed themselves to any risk that they had to, and all for the sake of helping other people. And when you think about why we do this, it's precisely for that reason. And so I'm grateful for all the great work that everyone else has done here, and I'm glad to be a part of it.